I'm breaking out the electric guitar for this video. It's about the 1-4-5 progression in the key of E. And 1-4-5 is a really common progression in all kinds of music. And what that means is it's the chords based on the first, the fourth, and the fifth notes of the scale. So in the key of E, this first note is E, this second note is F sharp, G sharp, and then A is the fourth, and then B is the fifth. So it's E, A, and B. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just very basic root and fifth shapes. They're called power chords. So I'm just going to play the root of the E chord, which is an E note, and the B note, which is the fifth of the chord. So I'm going to play those two notes together just by placing my first finger on the fifth string at the second fret. I'm going to play those two strings together. And I'm going to use some right hand techniques too, which I'll talk about a little further in the video. But I'm going to do kind of a rock and roll kind of a rhythm, kind of an old school, not real old school, but medium school rock and roll rhythm, not like way back, but you know, you don't hear a lot of rock and roll anymore, but anyhow. So that's the idea there. And the next chord is the A chord, and you can make that by playing the fifth string open and moving your first finger from the fifth string over to the fourth string at the second fret. So E is strings 6 and 5, A is strings 5 and 4, and you're just moving your finger over. And then when I'm going to B, I'm going to place my first finger on the fifth string, second fret, and I'm going to use my little finger on the fourth string, fourth fret. You could use your ring finger if you want, and there are some times where you might want to do that because then you can use your little finger to get a fuller power chord. And these are called power chords. But you can just do two strings too, that'll work too. So for this case, I'm just going to use two strings. But you could use to get a little fuller sound. So this is A, E, A, B. And I'm just going to do two strings. When you're learning guitar, it's really important to learn the notes on all the strings, but especially the two low strings because that's where your power chords are based. So the power chord for E is the E open. But if I wanted to play the A power chord on the sixth and fifth strings, I'd have to know where the A note is on the sixth string. So the notes on the sixth string are E, F on the first fret, G on the third fret, A on the fifth fret, B on the seventh fret, C on the eighth fret, D on the 10th, and back to E again on the 12th. So going back, it's E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. And there's only one fret between E and F and B and C. All the other notes have two frets, so it's a whole. So it's the difference between a whole step and a half step. So a whole step is two half steps. So a half step is just one fret. That's a half step. So in this exercise, I'm going to get to it here in a minute. I also kick on my drum machine just for the heck of it because I have it plugged in and turned on, and I might as well. So I'm just going to use E, A, B, back here in the first position, well, second position technically, but back here by the nut of the guitar. And then I'm going to go up the neck, and I'm going to play E, A, and B on the higher positions, and it also helps to know the notes on the fifth string because I'm going to play an E power chord on strings 5 and 4 at the 7th and 9th frets. 7th and 9th frets both have dots on them there, so that helps you to focus on that. But the fifth string open is A, fifth string second fret is B, and since there's only one fret from B to C, C is the third fret on the fifth string, and then we're going up to D on the fifth fret, E on the seventh fret. So that way, that's where I'm getting the E power chord up there. And then after E, there's a half step to F, a whole step to G, and a whole step to A. So it's really important to know the notes on the low two strings and the high. Well, if you know the notes on the low string, you also know the notes on the high string because they're both E strings, E notes. So I'm just gonna kick on the drum machine and just play around with this little rhythm pattern. I'm gonna do, for my right hand, I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna go to A. I'm gonna do a little straighter rhythm there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I'm gonna do 4 beats of E and then 2 of A and 2 of B. So just I'm gonna slide up and play in the higher frets. Let's see what happens. This is at 110 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, A, B, E. One thing I'm doing, I'm kind of doing a little bit of palm muting with my right hand, just kind of touching the strings behind the pick and right around the bridge. So instead of I'm doing more. It stops the strings from vibrating as much. All right, I hope that was fun. Hope it helps.